Welcome to Rocky Mountain Marketing. I'm your host, Katie Brinkley. Join us as we dive deep with the world's leading digital marketing experts every single Tuesday. It's all about giving you the strategies that are working right now, directly from those who are making an impact. With my 20 years of experience, I'm here to help you navigate the world of digital marketing. Whether you're looking to sharpen your skills or transform your business, you're in the right place. Let's get started on today's journey to success. We are in for such a treat today because if you have not been over on TikTok for a while, like yours truly, oh man, there have been an abundance of changes and updates. And so I had to bring in the queen of TikTok herself. Yes, folks, I brought in my good friend, Wyld, and she is the queen of trends and so much more. Honestly, she's the queen of short form video, but when it comes to TikTok, she is always my go-to. And I've had the opportunity to work with Wyld these past few weeks a little bit more and talk with her more. And man, we were talking about TikTok and she was like, well, you can do. And I was like, man, I did not know you could do. And so I want to tell you guys all the things that you can do about TikTok because TikTok is still around. You can still monetize TikTok. You can still post on TikTok and an abundance of ways that you can post on TikTok. So if you are, kind of on the fence about being on TikTok, it's not banned yet. Let's talk some TikTok. Wyld, thank you so much for joining me on Rocky Mountain Marketing today.
Thank you so much, Katie, for having me on. I'm so glad to be back and I really appreciate the invitation.
Well, and like I said, I've had the opportunity to talk with you a lot more over these past weeks, and you're so good when it comes to short form video. I mean, I love it. You're the yin to my yang because it's hard to get me to stop talking. I'm a long form person. I like the podcast, the YouTube, everything being long form. And you're like, 3 seconds, it has to change. We have to have transitions after 3 seconds. And, for those who have not listened to any of your other episodes on Rocky Mountain Marketing, again, you are a repeat guest. So thanks for joining me again. But if anybody has not listened to your past episodes, just tell us really quickly what got you into short form video, and you have an amazing membership. So tell us just a little bit about you.
Yeah, I jumped on the TikTok train back in 2020 when the app blew up during the pandemic. At the time, I had a photography business and I was kind of teaching people personal branding and how to, create content more for Instagram. And I had a friend who was an Instagram coach just say, hey, you know what? I think you really like TikTok. And so I jumped on the app. I started experimenting, playing around, and I did fall in love with it. I fell in love with the creativity of all the different things you could do, putting music to your videos. And it was just a really fun vibe. And so I just started posting randomly there. I didn't know really what worked, like a lot of people who joined TikTok. And I just started studying what other people were doing. Like I just mindfully watched content. That's how I learned to create content. And that's what I recommend. Just go watch content and notice what people are doing, what works. And so that's pretty much how I got started. I had a semi-viral video and that gets you hooked. And I had lots of people asking me questions about how to use TikTok. And then it was like light bulb moment. I can just help people. I can really help creators and business owners leverage this app just like all the other social media platforms.
Well, and you're an international speaker. You've spoken all over Canada, the United States, all about short form video. TikTok was where you got hooked, but I want to talk about some of the different ways that you can use TikTok. And most of the time, honestly, the past few times you've been on Rocky Mountain Marketing, we've tried to just generalize it to short form video. And because you can do YouTube Shorts, you can do Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, and a lot of the strategies that you share are pretty platform agnostic for having a successful short form video. But that's not where we're going to go today because there's a lot more to TikTok than what people might know. And I had no idea that there was so much to this app, and it's really evolved a lot since it first came out. So let's start at the beginning. Yes, there is the trending audio. There is the short form video, which is, short form video. But you can also have long form video over?
There are so many features on TikTok. So, one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they only make videos. Like they just post videos. That's what they think TikTok for. But TikTok has a lot of other features that mimic other apps that you can use and really leverage. But I do want to say that a lot of these features are not accessible by everyone. The way TikTok rolls out features is a little bit different. They roll them out by location and by device type. And this can be a little bit frustrating because I will share new features and updates on my own TikTok page. And then people comment, well, I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it. And so it does sometimes take time. But the features we're going to talk about today, I would say most users have them.
So yeah, and how come that is? Like, how come some people have them and some people don't? I mean, you and I were talking earlier today before we hit record about just even monetization. Like some people in Canada, you guys can't even monetize your TikTok, right?
That's right. I would say, there's not really a clear answer, but this is pretty common on the social media platforms. I've seen this on Facebook and I've seen it on Instagram as well, where they release new features, but often it's by country. So other countries will get them later. I think they like to test out features first and like fix any of the bugs or glitches that they may have. That's probably one likely reason.
Now, everything that we're talking about, you go over. You have an amazing monthly membership, which is extremely affordable. Which, girl, if everyone listening, go sign up for it now because I keep telling her she needs to raise the price on it. But it's extremely affordable. It's an amazing membership. But let's talk about some of these amazing features on TikTok because I had no idea there was all these different ways to post and create content. I still thought it was just short form video. That's why I haven't even touched it. Wave, you sent me a TikTok the other day, and I was like, girl, I don't even have the app on my phone. I can't watch this. So let's start with what your favorite feature of TikTok is that you think people might not even be aware of.
Okay, it's a hard one because there's a couple new ones that I really love. There's flip stories and there's something called thoughts. But, I think we should start at maybe more some of the fundamental features
Cool.
and just so that everyone knows, in addition to short form video, there is also live streaming. Live streaming is huge on TikTok. Some creators, that's all they do is live stream. That is a monetized feature, so you can get paid through their gifting program and through coins and people giving you gifts.
I think
So
that's
that's one.
interesting. Wait. I mean, like, because Instagram has live. And I feel like it was really popular back in 2020, 2021-ish, but I feel like nobody really goes live over on Instagram anymore. But it's still really popular over on TikTok.
It is super popular because it's a way to make money. And I would say it's a lot more gamified on
Oh,
TikTok. So it's really interactive. There's a lot of things you can do on live. You can battle with people. You can have live with up to, you can create like panels with have guests on your live up to like, I can't remember the exact number now. Maybe it's 10 people you
oh,
can have
wow.
live streaming with you. You can do polls and questions and little kind of games and contests to get more gifts and that type of thing. So it's quite different than I would say to Instagram.
Huh. Okay. I was going to say, so, but there's all these features. I know this is a 30-minute podcast, Wave. I got to ask all the questions. So if someone is going live, if they're a business owner and they want to make some money off of TikTok and go live, how can they gamify going live on TikTok?
For sure. So the first thing to be able to go live is you do need 1,000 followers to
Well,
be able to
I'm out.
access the live stream feature. However, you can get live stream access a little earlier if you do join one of these TikTok agencies. These are outsourced agencies that help teach you how to go live and how to monetize and that sort of thing. So if you have questions about that, slide into my Instagram DMs. I can help you there. But yeah, you need 1,000 followers. And I would say if you're a business owner, it's probably, making money through the gifts is not as important to you as maybe encouraging people to sign up for a resource or a freebie or actually sell your products or services on live stream. So that's probably going to be your main focus. I know that when I go live, I'm not there to, get more coins. People gift them if they want to, but that's not my primary focus. So for a business owner, it's actually just a really great way to build community. You know how much we love community, to get to know your audience, to interact with them, and they get that real time, in the moment time with you, interaction, and that builds a lot of the trust. And that's where you can drive traffic to your resources or talk about your products and services and promote them.
Okay, so we talked about going live. That's a great example for business owners. For TikTok, what's another great feature for TikTok, a basic feature that people might not be even aware of?
One of the most popular features right now that I highly recommend are photo carousels. They have been pushing this type of content since early January
Wait,
of
photo
2024.
carousels?
Yes,
That's like an Instagram thing. Like the
it is.
swipeable carousels?
It is. It's
That's not
exactly.
video at all. I thought
No, it's
TikTok was just
photos.
video.
What's important though with your photos is that you have to put text on them, because you got to give some context. People don't care about, I don't know, what you did on the weekend or what you ate on the weekend, right? You want to put text and give it some context. So think about, what do you create for photo carousels on Instagram? You can repurpose that to TikTok or vice versa. I actually had a student who does very well with just repurposing her TikTok carousels over to Instagram. Listicles are amazing, right? Sharing the best, your favorite things or the best tools for something works so well for photo carousels. You also have just telling stories. There are now, what's really actually common is, instead of doing vlogs, they're like photo vlogs. So when you're creating a vlog, you also want to snap some photos along the way, and then you can make a photo carousel of that, of a day in the life, whatever, what I eat in a day, any of those types of vlogs. And then probably the most important one is educational, like doing tips, right? So maybe 5 tips, each slide is a tip, call to action at the end. But TikTok particularly wants more of these educational photo carousels, because they've been testing out a completely separate. I did have it for about a week and then it disappeared. That's another thing with some of the newer features. They come and then they sometimes go and then they come back. But it was just a photo carousel feed. And then in addition to that, they want photo carousels and a lot of photo content, because TikTok has another app called TikTok Notes. Now, TikTok Notes is not available in the USA, but it is available in Canada. I use it a lot. It's only photo carousels. And it's a search engine, essentially. So it's kind of like Instagram and Pinterest.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so wait,
I
hold
know.
on. Before we get into notes, I do want to talk about carousels a little bit more. So, is it called carousels on TikTok? TikTok carousels?
Yeah, I call them photo carousels. You
Okay.
can post just one photo if you wanted to. However, I recommend a minimum of 3. And I go super, super in depth into these photo carousels if you want to learn more. Inside the TikTok Mastery membership, I've done a whole masterclass just on how to leverage photo carousels for educational content, for sales, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, that your membership wave is I can't believe all the stuff you give away in that membership. It is incredible. So again, people are just tell people real fast where they can sign up to check out the membership. And then I want to ask this question about
Yeah.
carousels.
You can go to wavewild.com. So that's my name, / TikTok Mastery.
And
And
we'll
there's
include that
a
in the show
$3 trial.
notes. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll include in the show notes, waveisle.com/TikTok mastery. So with carousels, you recommend three for the
A
swiping,
minimum,
a
of
minimum of
3.
three. So with Instagram, you can have up to 20. And I say just
Mhm.
because you can have 20 doesn't mean that you should. I found the sweet spot to be between 7 and 10 for carousels on Instagram. What's your recommendation for TikTok?
TikTok actually, I think you can go up to 24. It's been changing a lot. And then I
Okay.
remember Instagram changed it, and I was like, oh, this is awesome, because then it makes it easier for us to repurpose longer carousels over to Instagram. So I actually recommend long ones, like at least anywhere from 5 to 10, because I find the more swipes and the more time that people spend on that carousel, the better it will perform.
Mhm. And with Instagram, you can add in the videos into the carousels and stuff. Can you do that on TikTok as well?
No, you can't. So it's just it's just photos within that carousel. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I remember you and I were talking about this during one of my podcast classes because you said that a lot of podcasters were finding success
Yes.
using carousel posts over on TikTok.
Yes, this is a really amazing strategy that I've tested with a bunch of students is to use photo carousels. I know for people who have podcasts, they always just think about, taking the short clips
Hmm.
and repurposing to the other platforms. But what's worked really, really well on TikTok for my students is a very simple carousel with two photos. Two photos, that is it. I know said I recommend three, but this one for this specific strategy only needs two. And it's just photos of like any kind of selfie style photo. I think this is really important with photo carousels too. I want to mention I find that, super branded images don't perform well on TikTok as much in the photo
I
carousels. We
feel like
want
that's
stuff that looks like
everywhere.
you just
Yeah.
snapped it and it's from your camera roll. So any type of selfie photo, I would put a hook on that, which could be a question that speaks to a pain point. And then the next slide is just going to be about, you're just going to show your podcast and the title and like where they can find it.
Let's take a quick break. I have to tell you about something that I'm super excited about. If you've been podcasting for a while and you want to start actually making money from your show, you are going to love this. I have an upcoming masterclass where I'm going to teach you exactly how to land top paying sponsors, even if you have a small but loyal audience. It is time to stop waiting for sponsors to knock on your door and start reaching out to the ones that really want your audience. Ready to make it happen? Head to katiebrinkley.live/RMM or head to the link in the show notes. Grab your spot today. All right, let's get back to the show. Amazing. Well, everyone that has a podcast, I hope you were taking copious notes during that because for a while, people were just kind of, new episode alert and here's a clip, an opus clip from the podcast. And now it's all white noise. This is insider information from Wyld and
Yeah.
she's in the know. So hope you guys are all taking copious notes with that. I want to get back to TikTok notes. Speaking of notes, and you said this is only in Canada right now. And is this I'm assuming that this is different than like when you said TikTok notes, I was thinking kind of like how on Instagram they have the little thought bubbles above our names.
Well,
But it's not.
it's not, but TikTok
Okay.
also has that. They
Oh,
call it
okay.
something else.
Oh,
They call it thoughts, not
oh,
notes. So
oh.
TikTok Notes is a separate app. It is available in Canada, Australia, and a few European countries. You can just check it by going to the App Store and it'll tell you if it's available in your region or not. The way it looks, it's very similar to TikTok in that you have a following feed and a For You page, and you just scroll vertically for photo posts. But like I said before, it's more of a search engine. So this is why they want educational content and why they've been pushing creators to make educational content with photo posts is because it works more like a search engine. So ideally you want to search for something. So if you're looking for, I don't know, weight loss tips, you're going to search that. TikTok itself has also become very much a search platform. So that's kind of the way that platform works.
Well, wait. So I don't understand. Why is this a different app? Why? Because you just said yourself, TikTok has images, it has carousel posts, it has short form, it has long form, it has live, and now there's a separate app specifically for search. Why would they do that?
That's a good question. I got to ask TikTok. They've had a few separate
They didn't ask you.
No, they're always experimenting and trying different things. They also had an app. It was called TikTok Now, and it was like a copy of Be Real. And then that kind of just disappeared. So they are testing and experimenting always, and they are, making new products. So
And you said it was similar to like a Pinterest.
kind of in the way that it is a search platform.
Okay. Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess for all of us here in the US, that's something to keep on our radar. And Definitely follow
Definitely.
Wyld because you are always breaking the latest news when it comes to TikTok and short form video. All right, so we've talked about a lot so far. We only have a few more minutes left. So tell us what other features you want to make sure that we are aware of that we should know about.
Yeah, let's talk about TikTok thoughts. So,
Oh,
this
okay.
is the copy of Instagram notes. Now, it appears on your profile. It's like a little thought bubble by your profile photo, and you have up to 60 characters to write something down. The thing about TikTok thoughts is when you create one, it also automatically generates a TikTok story. Now, I don't love this because it just
Wait,
makes
there's
like this.
TikTok stories too?
Yes, we have TikTok stories.
So,
Those are very much like Instagram stories.
okay, okay.
I'm sorry,
Well, all right.
Katie.
There's so many things about TikTok.
I know you.
I
You
had no
didn't even know what you were getting into
I
with this
had
episode.
no idea. I had no idea. Okay, so back to TikTok thoughts, and it automatically makes a TikTok story with a thought.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. But when you tap on the note, you also slide into the person's DMs. So TikTok's been, building a lot more of these DM features, which are really cool. So they're starting to build, more of that Instagram culture where we're really building connections in the DMs. That's starting to come to TikTok as well.
Wait,
So it's
wait.
just kind of a fun little,
Before you go further, I want you
yeah.
to talk about why that's important because that's. I want you to talk about why it's important. I know why I think it's important, but why is that an important feature that TikTok has made that shift?
Because social media is about building relationships. You want to get to know your audience, your followers. You want to encourage them to connect, to ask questions, to DM you for something. You want to show that you care and be available for them. So I think it is really focused on, building community at the end of the day. Hmm.
Preach. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, and I'm not even on TikTok. But the interesting thing about the DMs is that nobody can see that. And that's what social media is trying to encourage and is really fostering right now is nobody sees how many people comment on your story and then send you a DM. That's kind of the dark social. And that's what they're pushing. That's what all these platforms are pushing. So I find that really interesting. Okay, so these TikTok thoughts are making TikTok stories. Back to you.
Yes. So the idea with a thought is I will use them, maybe to say like, hey, new trend alert, like I posted a new trend. Just a quick little tidbit or of advice or maybe something that they need to know. Like something promotional, maybe there's something new, or telling them to check something or new feature or anything like that. That's how I use the thoughts. They're kind of fun.
Yeah, and I think that, Facebook has a feature like that. Instagram, like I said, has the feature like that. And I've used it a couple times for when I'm promoting things like the podcast masterclass that I did. I have my How to Become Sponsorable masterclass. So I have put that as a thought, but it hasn't made a story, which I think you said it kind of annoys you, but I think it's kind of cool because that's gets top of the pecking order, that people see, right?
Yes, it does. So TikTok stories works a lot like Instagram in that you see them kind of up above and you can swipe over to the left and watch them. But I just find that the thoughts when they get automatically posted like in this, template that you can't edit or anything, they don't perform as well. So I would prefer to just make an actual story like you would on
Oh, yeah.
Instagram or make a flip story.
Yeah. All right. So we only have a few more minutes left. Are there any other features that we need to touch on? We touched on so many from TikTok here. So I think that if anyone like yours truly hasn't been on TikTok and is wanting to maybe give it another thought in 2025 and jump on the TikTok bandwagon, there's a lot more to this platform. Are there any other features of TikTok that we haven't talked about today that you think are worth noting?
I think we've pretty much covered them. I just want to say about TikTok stories and flip stories. If you are listening and you're on TikTok and you're one of those people who say, oh, my followers never see my content, post stories. It is so underutilized. People don't use it. And it gets pushed to your followers. So this is how you can stay top of mind. And they can be so simple and easy to create. Even if you just want to upload a photo with some text, you don't have to like get on camera and make a video per se. Again, these are like casual kind of behind the scenes. If I do stories, they're not like videos that I would post for my grid that have to appeal to people on the For You page, right? This is my community. So I don't have to use a hook and follow certain short form, ways that you would make content. They can be a lot of fun, and your followers will see more of your content.
Oh man. Well, I gotta say, Wave, if kind of have made me reconsider about being on TikTok. And like I said, I've been off since 2020. I uninstalled that app and I've just been sticking to my Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And you've definitely made it sound more appealing. There's a lot to this app. You gave us a masterclass in 28 minutes here so far. I can't even imagine what you do for people in your membership community, because you're constantly updating people there every single week. You do monthly webinars. And again, it's at wavewild.com/TikTok mastery. And we do have a link in the show notes. If people want to connect with you, where is the best place for them to learn more and do all things Wave Wyld?
Yeah, you can send me a DM on Instagram or TikTok at Wave Wyld. That's my usernames over there. I love chatting with people in my DMs.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for joining us once again on Rocky Mountain Marketing.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. I hope you're leaving with valuable insights and the inspiration to lead your market. If you've enjoyed our time together and found today's podcast episode useful, I have a small favor to ask of you. Please hit that subscribe button to stay updated with the latest episodes. And if you know someone who could benefit from these episodes, maybe a fellow business leader or an aspiring entrepreneur, go ahead and share this episode with them. Let's spread the knowledge and grow together. Also, I'd love to hear from you and continue the conversation beyond the podcast. Visit me at katiebrinkley.com to connect, to find more resources, or just to share your journey. And be sure to pick up your copy of my new book, The Social Shift, at katiebrinkley.com/book. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Katie Brinkley, and I can't wait to dive into more strategies and stories with you on the next episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. Let's keep on taking your marketing to new heights.